counterparts. So literally, it is no surprise that they take on a good start. But, in a game of badminton, nothing is assured until they play their last point.
Yes.
Yeah.
They say everything is possible.
Exactly.
We are really looking for Botswana, a young team, causing an upset in this group.
I think it would be good for the badminton fraternity because almost, if I'm to be honest, everyone would expect South Africa to win this match. Of course, courtesy of their ranking being so high in comparison to Botswana's. But we would say that on paper they are the favorites. But incidentally, badminton is not played on paper, but played on court. So anything can happen as we look on. I think it is going to be an interesting match.
It's a very interesting match. Botswana already lost their first game against Mauritius, 5-0. So this is their only chance to succeed and qualify for the knockout stages.
Exactly. If they must qualify, they must win this match. There are no shortcuts. But of course, I want to say...
Oh, lovely, lovely net shot.
Net shot, yeah. It is interesting. But I am actually looking to see whether we can have that upset. It would be good for the mix.
Yes.
Yeah.
South Africa serving.
Yeah, of course. They are taking the lead as they are expected to. But of course, it is too early. Yeah, it's too early now. Just, I think, 2 points, 3 points.
Service.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, a good attack there from the South Africans. And I think the Kabelo doesn't seem to be so comfortable in her defense. You see?
Yeah.
And they seem to be isolating her and taking all the shuttles to Kabelo.
To Kabelo.
Yeah, for some reason they have realized she's the weakest amongst the two. So
lovely attack. Lovely attack from Robert White.
I think South Africa is having it the easy way.
It's an easy way. They're leading us to the intervals.
To be hustling so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the lead shows they are comfortably sailing through. I'm waiting for that particular moment where Botswana puts up a good fight. Their coach is my very good friend. We have done coaching coaches together. So
yes.
He's my guy.
Kabelo.
Yeah.
He has
he's called Taylor.
He has got a very young team.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at
even the boys are young.
The boys are young.
He's actually taken out the old guard.
Yes.
Now this is a new crop of players. Just like Uganda is doing.
Yes,
so I think they're investing in the...
It is something that most of the African countries, you saw a very young team coming from Reunion.
Yeah.
We're seeing young teams in Uganda. We are seeing also Mauritius trying to bring up new players, not the old the players that we are used to. So slowly we are seeing the new generation of young players. Egypt is also doing the same.
I think it is the way to go for badminton in Africa. Because you realize these young players are so hungry. They have a point to prove.
Yes.
Unlike the old guard that have done it all and they surely don't have so much to prove. So these young ones are actually trying so much. And I think the future is bright for African badminton due to the fact that we have young participants. Yeah. There we go, a good one for Botswana. Yeah.
A good shot from Pakisi from Botswana. Lovely attack. The South Africans are able to open Botswana's defense.
Yeah, you realize their service is meant to be their first attack, but if it is too high, it means they're already in the defensive. So when the South Africans are serving, their services are low, and it forces the Botswanans to raise, and they finish the shuttle. So I think technically you realize that there is a difference. South Africa seems to be serving well, and the Botswana guys are not. See?
Yeah, good shot.
And the return as well. All right.
Lovely, lovely. Lovely defense this time round from Botswana.
Botswana, yes. I wish they do that a lot more, because it would get us some kind of good match. Not a predetermined result.
Yeah, Botswana serving at 7.
7-15. Yeah.
Oh, tough luck. She was just there at the net.
She was there, but I think she dragged in the approach to the tapping of that shuttle at the net.
Beautiful interception.
Yeah, by the South Africans.
The South Africans seem to be a very close knit unit. They train together, they're moving together, and their performance is really, really good. Do you think they're going to give the likes of Egyptians and Algerians a tough time?
Definitely, they will. But of course, we can't. For us to make a real assessment of how good the South Africans are, they ought to play a team that is highly ranked like they are. So we can, make that comparison. Apparently, everyone expects them to sail through this tie. But when it comes to those crunch matches, the knockouts, that is when we are really going to see the potential.
Where the meat meets the metal.
Exactly, yeah. So for this one, no one will be surprised when they win easily, because they expected to. But the coming matches, quarterfinals and semi-finals, can they still be there? That is the million-dollar question. How do they mix it with the big boys? Egypt, Mauritius, Uganda, So we wait and see.
Yeah. I think what the Botswanans here should do, and I can see the lady is not very comfortable.
No, she
isn't.
If
they just play safe and return all the shuttles, they will just wait for the South Africans.
Realize she's over-raising. She's making so many mistakes. But I think she looks young, really. I think the magnitude of the stage at which she's playing, probably I've not seen her before. So I think she's young, she has all the time, so it is only natural that the pressure would be too much on her. And of course, South Africa used to be one of the very best. So you're like, okay, I'm playing this South African team that are so good. But if you realize, there is not so much that they are doing better than the Botswanans, but it's just that they are doing the easy things, okay? Return the shuttle, put it where it has to be there. Let them raise, and then you finish. So this is what they are doing, and they are doing better, and they are serving better. Okay, they are returning better. You realize they are placing shuttles where they want to put them. So when an opponent does such a thing, it means they are at an advantage, because they are always going to be forced to raise. And when you raise, they attack, and that is how we get points in badminton.
If you're just joining us, this is the second set of the first encounter, All Africa Mixed Team Championship, South Africa versus Botswana. South Africa just won the first set, 21-10. We're about to have start the second set. If we compare the two coaches, Coach Stewart and your friend who's coaching Botswana.
Of course, I don't know which level he is, but he's more experienced. I must say that.
He was the one who coached players road to Tokyo 2020.
Yes, so when we are talking experience, he's up there.
Yes.
I used to see him coach when I was still playing. So I'm coaching now, and he's still coach. So, and that kind of experience you don't buy from anywhere. Okay. It is exceptional. And of course, he has a good track record. You already spoke about the road to Tokyo. They just don't give you a team if you're not that good, okay, for such a project. So literally, you realize from the technical perspective, they have an advantage, okay, the two guys. My man Taylor as well, I think this is like his second job outing or something. So he literally is at a disadvantage when it comes to the experience part. But we shall all get there, because you realize the old man will be leaving. So he still has time.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question to you, as one of the most experienced African coaches, do you guys have like a forum where, as coaches, you're mentoring young coaches, the likes of the Botswana coaches who are coming up, and they're looking up to you for more knowledge and experience?
Okay, literally, on the continent, what happens is BCA has a program, okay, that looks at empowering coaches across the continent. But of course, we just had one last week in Uganda, the BWF Level 1.
Yes.
And I think we had participants from East Africa.
Yes.
I think we had Somalia, we had Ethiopia, then Uganda. Yeah, so, but what I think the issue about the coaches is the respective countries, okay? Do they give their coaches they have nurtured coaching opportunities? For example, they need the exposure, they need to get to feel the heat, okay? So some of us have been lucky that you've coached at the biggest stages, okay? I happen to also be the national universities coach, so I've been at the biggest world university games a number of times.
Beautiful attack.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So coming back to this, you realize that they are making so many errors at the net, particularly.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think they need to calm down and just return basic, get back to basics.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you see that's another error.
Another error.
Yeah. So they are not looking at the placement; they are just returning shuttles, and now that is
going to cost them. It's going to cost them the game. Going back to our discussion, you say that member federations should give the young players, the young coaches, the opportunity to perform at high levels.
Yeah.
But you see, all the member associations are also looking to win these matches. So it will be very difficult for them to give new coaches, young coaches, the chance to participate at this level.
Well, if you look at it, when we have All Africa championships, I think not every year, but there are tournaments that will be there. You have Kenya International, you have Uganda.
Beautiful attack.
You see? So all these, we can't have particular individuals all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? You might not give them the chance to coach at this Africa because the whole world is watching and what, but there are tournaments where they should. Okay, if I'm taking an example of Uganda,
yes,
this is what we do. The coaches committee, we have level 1 coaches, level 2 coaches, and those ones that have just done the level 1 now.
Yes.
So what happens is we categorize. Okay, we say that these kinds of tournaments should be attended by this level of coaches.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what does it mean? We are giving opportunity to these coaches that have just gotten their qualification.
That's good.
Okay, you're going to Nairobi, Kisumu, why don't you take the man that has just gotten his certificate?
Yes.
Okay, so like that, we climb the ladder like that. Eventually, they will get to this stage.
South Africa leads us again, leading the interval stage.
Yeah, of course, they are. I am not surprised because you realize technically that for the few minutes we've watched them, they seem to be better, okay? And they are doing the basics very well. They're not doing so much. They're just returning the shuttle, placing them where they want them to, and the Botswanians seem to be making so many mistakes.
Many errors. Does this also, the lack of practicing with the feather shuttle, does it also contribute to this many errors?
Very important point you mentioned there. And take an example. These countries, if I could call them sub-Saharan countries, we have a challenge, Uganda inclusive.
Yeah.
We have a challenge of the shuttlecocks. We train using nylon, you see. Now, with 2 months to go or 3, you have to buy feather shuttlecocks, which are very expensive. Okay. Now, these guys, our counterparts, have the money, so they have the feathers. So their familiarization to the shuttle is way better than ours. Okay, because for us, first of all, the first thing is we are financially constrained. I'm giving an example. I don't know how it is in Kenya. for Uganda to have 6 months of training with feather shuttlecock, it is next to impossible. You get it?
Well, I think this is a challenge that cuts across all of Africa. Exactly. It's not unique to Uganda or even the South Africans or the Egyptians or the Algerians. All of us have a similar challenge.
All the times I've been to South Africa, I see them training with feather shuttlecocks. I don't know. And they seem
I'll tell you from
a
point of knowledge where
yes.
I actually know this is a problem that cuts across Africa, and more so to the developing member associations like ours.
Yes.
It becomes quite an acute problem because
it is very acute.
Yes,
very acute. Yeah. But you realize still. What they say, a one-eyed man is a king in the blind. Yeah. For them, at least they can afford, they have the money. You see, you can compare yourself to South Africa financially. Okay? So I think they even have better partnerships, of course, courtesy of their former glory. And if I must say, okay, so for us here,
but then it gives us a challenge also to work hard and also try and look for more partnerships.
Of course, it is key.
As you can see, this time round, there's a change of the shuttles that we are using.
Yang, I think, or something.
Who's one of the partners that are really coming out strongly to start trying to support developing countries, African countries, and get into partnerships.
We are trying as Uganda Badminton Association to have that partnership going, okay, so that we can have not only the shuttlecocks but the rackets and the attire, basically the equipment in general. And I think they are willing to come on board, and this is the only way to go. Otherwise we shall never catch up with our counterparts in Europe and Asia if we don't do that.
Botswana making another unforced error.
Yeah, we've gotten so used to seeing them do that. But
good control from the South African. Very good control.
She could have attacked. She could have attacked that shuttle at the net, but she opted to just push it, which gave the South African a chance to retrieve. So
game point.
You see, another error.
The match is over.
Yeah, but
South Africa wins the first encounter.
Yeah, of course, as expected. But like I said, they don't seem to strike me like a team that is so way beyond technically. I'm waiting for that moment where they play a slightly stronger team, because I think there are mistakes in their game, which can be exploited
by a stronger team.
Not really so strong, but any team that would give them a fight. I mean, look at the points. 9-11, not really. It's not stressing. So I'm thinking, let's wait and see. Their next match, they have who in the group? Who do they have in the group?
In the next group, they are with, just a moment.
Because it is Botswana, South Africa, and who?
Mauritius.
That is when I'm talking. Now, when it comes to Mauritius, you're actually going to realize that it is going to be more tense. It's going to be more difficult for them, because Mauritius is also a very good team. If you have seen them, they also have young players who are exposed, unlike the Botswana team, which lacks the exposure, okay, the experience and stuff. But when it comes to Mauritius, we are going to have a better match.
Well, viewers, thank you very much accompanying us in this mouth-watering clash between South Africa and Botswana. We're just going to take a short break as we go into a session of interviews. I will get back to you with the second tie. Men's singles, Ruan Sinman from South Africa playing against Botswana Tumisang Olekantse.
Okay, yes, thank you.
See you.